What's up? We are doing NFC division predictions. No bullshit, getting straight into it. Straight to it. No intro. I don't got nothing. Why is my hat so fucking crooked? Nothing going on. I got to get this pod before I go to work, so we're going to lock in. I look super white. Holy shit. What changed? My tan is barbecued. We'll start straight off hot with the NFC North. Believe it or not, I actually think that the NFC North is going to have somewhat of a down year. I think that a lot of people are super high on the Packers, super high on the Vikings. Not the Vikings. Super high on the Packers, Bears, Lions. These teams are all going to beat the shit out of each other. And in fourth place in the NFC North, I have your Minnesota Vikings, Minnesota fan. In my opinion, there's really nothing to expect from this team. I can't expect them to be good. I can't really expect them to be bad, so I'm going to expect them to be mid. I mean, I really love the skill group. I really love Brian Flores. I really love JJ. Or not, no, I'm sorry. I love Brian Flores. I love Kevin O'Connell. I love the skill group. I don't really know what to expect from JJ McCarthy. I think they're going to be like a 7-win team, maybe an 8-win team. If they win 10 games or make the playoffs or something, this will be a great coaching accomplishment, in my opinion. I mean, yeah, this is one of the better coaching staffs in the NFL. Could be the best coaching staff in the NFL. I would have the Chiefs as a better coaching staff, but they are an awesome team. Yeah, I mean, with J.J. McCarthy, I just don't really know what to expect with him. I mean, he was on a stacked Michigan team in college. I don't think that I'm not expecting him to come in and light the league on fire, that's for sure. I don't expect him to come in and take the league by storm. So that's really all I have for the Vikings. But we can move on to the Packers in third place, which I'm sure is going to make a bunch of people lose their minds because I've been hearing nothing but people saying that the Packers are going to finish first in this division. Go, Pack, go. I will say, throughout my life, the Packers have kind of been my secondary team. Like, I'm a one-team fan. You know what I mean? I'm a Raiders fan until I die. But I've always loved Aaron Rodgers, so every year when the Raiders would miss the playoffs, I would kind of root for the Packers in the NFC. But a lot of people are high on them. I think they're going to win like 8 to 11 games. That's my prediction. I know that's a 3-game. That's a little bit of a hedge by me. But I think that secondary is going to suck outside of Xavier McKinney. That's the only good player in that secondary. I don't really trust the wide receiver core. If Matthew Golden is fantastic, this team would move up to 2 for me. But I can't just bet on a rookie wide receiver to transform your team's whole receiver core. Christian Watson's a good receiver. He's probably a good 2. And Jaden Reed's a great 3. But this receiver core feels like it's full of 2s and 3s. Matthew Golden needs to be a 1 his rookie year for this team to be great. And I feel like a lot of people are pretending like because they drafted Matthew Golden, now they have a 1. We have to see this guy play and be a 1 first, you know? So I'm not super high on Jordan Love personally. I think that he's a good quarterback. I don't really bet on him to stay healthy at this point. I don't think that he's injury prone per se, but I don't think that he is a guy that I can just pencil in to play all 17. I do love the Packers, but I'm going to have to pass on them this year. I think that they will be, in the playoff hunt. In second place, I have the Bears. I've been seeing nothing but people shitting on the Bears, nothing but people shitting on Caleb Williams. And I hate to say it, I believe in the Bears this year. Their coaching last year was absolutely atrocious. Matt Eberflus did one of the worst jobs of head coaching I've ever witnessed in my entire life. Might be, I think, top 3 worst head coaching jobs I've ever seen is Matt Eberflus, the guy who coached the Broncos, whose name I can't remember, from the Jets. No, who went to the Jets? Nat Hackett. He was bad. And probably Josh McDaniels is up there, or our coach last year, Raiders coach last year, whose name I can't remember, who's now the linebacker coach for the Chiefs. But I'm pretty high on the Bears this year. I think that they had a giant improvement at head coach. I like their drafting of Colston Loveland. I think that the offensive line is going to be very improved. I like the addition of Joe Thuney. Their offensive line is good, not great, but good is way better than it was last year. Ben Johnson seems to be instilling some toughness into the team. He's kicking people out of practice. He's making sure people get their shit straight. I'm a big fan of that. I really like that. I'm always concerned when there's a flashy coordinator kind of guy. You know what I mean? Like a Ben Johnson who's known as the boy genius. He's this and that. He's He's the second coming of the Messiah. I'm worried that those guys don't always instill the toughness. And he came out and he's instilling the toughness. And I love that. I'm huge on that. I think that Caleb Williams hopefully will look like a top 10 quarterback in the NFL this year. So, I mean, I'm pretty high on them. I don't really think that this team has a ton of weaknesses. I think they're probably their weakest point is their running back room. I mean, DeAndre Swift is an acceptable running back, but they have good tight ends. I'm high on Loveland. They have good wide receivers with Adunze and DJ Moore. They have a decent offensive line now. They have a good defense. The Bears always have a good defense. Their D line is pretty good, not awesome. Their linebacker room's a little meh. And I think that they have a top 5 corner and 2 good safeties with Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker. Brisker's not great, but I like Kevin Byard. First in the division, we have the Detroit Lions, who, once again, like most of these teams I said, I'm actually low on. I'm not huge on the Lions this year. I actually debated moving them down. I'm just leaving them there because that feels like the right thing to do, and I'm not trying to do the chalk pick. But I think that this interior offensive line is going to look significantly worse, and that would scare me if I was a Lions fan because of Jared Goff. I wouldn't exactly be bullish on Jared Goff this year. But between that and the loss of the 2 coordinators, I expect them on both sides of the ball to take a step back. They were a 14-15 win team last year. I think they were 14-3. And I don't think that this division has a super elite team in it. I feel like I've heard every team in this division get picked to make the playoffs. I've heard 3 teams in this division get picked to make the Super Bowl, I think. I don't think any of them are going to do any of that. I think they're going to make the playoffs. Not all of them. I think this could be a 2-team playoff or division. A lot of people are really high on the NFC North. I think they're one of the best coach divisions in the NFL now. Between Dan Campbell, the hell is his name? I just talked Ben Johnson, and then Matt LaFleur and Kevin O'Connell. Those are 4 great coaches. I think that they're all going to be well-coached teams. None of them are going to be a team that you want to play. That's for sure. None of these teams are going to be, write down the W on the schedule. We're playing the Vikings. No, that Brian Flores is going to be scary. You know what I mean? These teams are not to be fucked with. But I am lower on them. I think they're going to beat up on each other. And I also think that the Lions taking a step back at offensive line is going to matter. A lot of people just seem to not give a shit about the offensive line unless it's great. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. I feel like the offensive line, building your team is in the trenches, in my opinion. The NFC South, this is going to be fun. In 4th place, I get to put my friends New Orleans Saints. This team very well could be one of the worst teams in NFL history this year. I have no expectations for Tyler Shuck. I think that he's going to be terrible. I think their offensive line is going to suck. I think their defensive line is old. I think their coach is going to suck. I think your plan here, if you're a Saints fan, is you're going, please lose every single game so we can get Arch Manning or Drew Aller or Grant or Nussmeier or whoever the hell and get a new coach. That's really the hope, honestly. If I was a Saints fan, I would be gambling against my team and trying to just pull for them to lose every single game all year. That team is gonna suck. The only bright spot of this team is Chris Olave and old ass Alvin Kamara and old ass defense. The team is gonna suck. They're gonna get hurt probably. I would expect this team to be. This team could win 4 games. This team could win 3 games. They're gonna be bad. The 3rd place team I have in the NFC South is the Carolina Panthers. I don't think that this team's going to be that bad. I just don't think they're going to be that good. I think this is going to be like a 6 or 7 win team, maybe a couple more wins. Who knows? Bryce is going to be an okay quarterback. I think you can just slot him in to be like the 14th best quarterback in the NFL. Tedero McMillan's going to be good. I love that guy. I really hope that he's good. Their defense is probably going to be god awful. Excuse me, but besides their defense being absolutely god awful, I think that they're going to be good. I don't think they're going to not good. I think they're going to be acceptable. They're going to be a cool team. They're not going to be anything crazy. We're not going to do too much on the Panthers and the Saints, So the Atlanta Falcons are coming in second for me in this division. I think that they could be a sleeper playoff team, but I'm not going to exactly. I'm not betting my Corvette on the Falcons to be a sleeper playoff team. Or to be a playoff team, but I could see it happening. I don't think it's impossible, right? And I think they're good. I like Michael Penix. There is a weird dynamic in the quarterback room to me because I mean, right now, I think I think you have to play Michael Penix. I don't know why they haven't traded Kirk Cousins. I think that Kirk Cousins is still like a decent quarterback. Like I know he was really bad last year, but I think he just came back too early off the Achilles. The defensive line, in my opinion, should be greatly improved. I really, really liked the draft of James Pierce. I like James Pierce. I think that he's going to be a great player. I have maybe not great. I think he's going to be at least a good player. I really liked him at Tennessee. He's really quick off the line. I like his move set. He's a he's a dog. And of course, another year of Bijan Robinson getting better. Hopefully they run the ball and stop handing it to, you know, there's nothing the Falcons love like just handing the ball to somebody who's not the best player. First place in the NFC South this year, I have the Buccaneers. And this is a team that I feel like a lot of people are picking to be a sleeper team. So maybe it's not a sleeper team, but I'm going even farther than sleeper team. I think that the Tampa Bay Bucks could make a run for the 1 seed this year. I know that that's a hot take. I don't think they will, but I don't think it's impossible. I think that this is going to be a great team. Baker is going to get nothing but better and better to me. He is my sleeper candidate for MVP. I'm not betting my 401k, but going to be good. I think they have a very good chance to be the best offense in the NFL this year. I really liked the draft of Emeka Egbuka. Tristan Wirfs is obviously great, and Bucky Irving is going to do nothing but continue to get better. I think Mike Evans could take a step back, but I think immediately Emeka Egbuka is going to be better than a wide receiver 3. So I think I'm going to try and pick him up in fantasy. I think Mike Evans is getting older. You know what I mean? I'm not exactly expecting the most monstrous season from Chris Godwin, but this is going to be an awesome wide receiver core. Top 3 wide receiver core in the NFL this year. Defense is going to be good. I love Todd Bowles. I love that team. And I think they really, really could make a run for the 1 seed this year. Would not be shocked if you saw the Bucks in the conference championship game. Bucks fans love me. We'll move on to the NFC East, where in 4th place I have the New York Giants. Honest to God, I wouldn't even be shocked if the Cowboys are here if they don't pay Micah, but the Giants aren't going to be as bad as 4th place suggests. They will have the best, if not the best, a top 3 defensive line in the NFL. That defensive line is terrifying with Dexter Lawrence, Kayvon Thibodeau, Abdul Carter, and I can't remember that last guy's name, but he's also good. Not the best with the names, but the D line is insane. I mean, that's going to be a fucking ridiculous defensive line, but they suck everywhere else. Yeah, I mean, Malik Neighbors is really good. I think Russell Wilson might be serviceable. You know what I mean? You can slot Russell Wilson in to be at least like the 18th best quarterback in the NFL, the 20th best quarterback in the NFL. So who knows? Maybe he's worse than that. Maybe he's better than that. I think that about halfway through this year, people are going to start bringing signs to tell him to start Jackson Dart. And I don't think that's the best move for them. In all honesty, I think that the move is to give Jackson Dart a year to learn from Russell Wilson. Don't learn everything from Russell Wilson, but learn some from Russell Wilson. I expect them to finish 4th, though. We don't have to go too far into it. Mid offense, probably surprise. Like the Giants are one of those teams where when you play the Giants, it's like, oh, okay, cool, we get to play the Giants. Like, thank God. But like, you know, what I mean, if you just came off like a 3-game stretch where you're like, all right, we just played the Bills, and then we played like the fucking Bengals, and then we played like the Ravens. Oh, thank God, we get to go play the Giants. I'll tell you what, that game's not going to be fun. It might be a win, but it's not going to be a fun game. They are going to beat the shit out of your offensive line. Which is, if my team's going to suck, I want my team to suck to play against too. I want to see your fans stressing in the stands while you beat my ass. In 3rd place, we have the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think they're going to be as bad as a lot of people think if Micah Parsons plays. If Micah does not play, 6 wins. Pay Micah Parsons or your team's going to be fucked. The wide receiver core is good. I'm not really a guy who is super huge or super sold on George Pickens personally. I think that he's good, not great. And the running back room this year is going to be fucking atrocious. I have really zero hope for this running back room whatsoever. I don't even know at this point who's going to start. I think it's going to be a terrible run game. Could be last in the league, like top 5 worst running rooms in the league. And that's going to lead to a lot of Dak Prescott chucking the ball. I think Dak actually could have a decent fantasy season as long as he doesn't throw like 23 picks. because they're going to be losing a lot of games and they're going to be throwing the ball a fuckload. So, going to be a terrible matchup for a lot of teams that have like when they go play teams that have great DBs, that Cowboys team's going to get fucking waxed. But yeah, I mean, I'm not exactly huge on the Cowboys. I would say somewhere in the range of 6 to 9 wins. I don't think they're going to be a playoff team. I think they're going to get beat up by their division. The defensive line is mid outside of Micah Parsons. I think that the linebacker core sucks. I like that they drafted Tyler Booker. He's kind of corny. I don't really like some of the things that he said or some of the quotes that he's had, but whatever. The DB room in the Cowboys is just completely prone to blown coverages and gambling for picks, but who knows? Maybe with Micah back, they can force some turnovers. Deron Bland can, or Diggs can, you know what I mean, make something shake. I'm not huge on the Cowboys, but we have to talk about them. They're America's team, right? Second place, I have the Washington Commanders. Excuse me. Damn, that almost killed me. Where this year I'm honestly expecting the Commanders to be a better team, but have a worse record, unless they let Terry McLaurin walk. Or Terry McLaurin doesn't play or they trade him or something. The defense is going to suck. Bobby Wagner put together like a surprisingly great year last year. This guy isn't getting any fucking younger. So you can expect regression from Bobby Witt. And Bobby Witt, wow, shout out the Royals. You can expect regression from Bobby Wagner at some point, right? And I also have to assume that they're not going to be as awesome in one-score games as they've been. Like last year, oh my God, that Bears game fucked me. Oh my God, I had like $250 on that Bears game. And the Bears had it, and they blew it. Fuck Tyreek Stevenson. Never forget. But I'm assuming they're going to pay Terry McLaurin, so that's why they're here. The wide receiver room is going to suck if he's not there. Debo cannot be your wide receiver one. And if Terry is not around, I'm not exactly betting my 401k on Noah Brown and Luke McCaffrey. So they need to pay Terry McLaurin or they need to trade him for another wide receiver. I don't know. But you can't also have that guy making less than Debo. You know what I mean? That's your guy. Scary Terry's been with this team for fucking 8 years or some shit like that. Just dealing with shit quarterbacks, just being an absolute consummate pro, just a great professional, never complained, never was in the media bitching, never freaked out about his contracts. He's been nothing but solid. The guy deserves the money. Is it the right organizational move? Maybe not, but in my opinion, he's earned it. First place in the NFC East, we have a huge shocker with the Philadelphia Eagles. Duh. It's a fucking crazy roster. I expect a similar season to the Eagles, but a little bit worse. Just a smidge, like a smidge worse. I think the offensive line is not going to look as good, and I would expect Saquon not to have a top 5 running back season in NFL history. Who knows? Not impossible. Not like I wouldn't be shocked if I'm not. Oh my God, that's a great thumbnail. I wouldn't be like if fucking Saquon has, you know what I mean, another awesome year, but I'm not bringing out my wallet to bet everything on Saquon rushing for 2,000 yards again. I'm gonna have to say that's probably gonna get a little bit worse. That said, I actually expect an improvement from the defensive end. If you don't remember the beginning of the year last year, they were kind of iffy, and then Vic Fangio kind of got it figured out. Cooper Flag, shout out to the Mavs. Cooper Rush, shout out to the Ravens. Cooper DeJean, let's go white boy corner. Cooper DeJean, shout out to him. Pick 6 in the Super Bowl, but on his birthday. But I expect an improvement from him and the other white DB whose name I'm not going to try and get because I just named 15 different Coopers. But yeah, I expect a slight improvement on the defense, slight regression on the offense. So pretty similar season, maybe a game or two less wins. In the NFC West, we are kind of flying through this. Maybe I should stop talking so fast. But finishing 4th in the AFC West, we have the Arizona Cardinals. I think they're going to be a bit better than some people think. I hear some people like the Cardinals are a sleeper team. Yeah, sleeper team for the number 1 pick. They're going to be good, but not good enough to be good. So that makes sense if you really think about it. Kyler's going to be good for a little bit, and the defense is going to suck. Marvin Harrison has actually been kind of disappointing for what I thought he was going to be. Like, I was expecting him to come in and be like a top 5 guy and maybe a top 7 guy, maybe a top 8 guy, maybe a top 10 guy. I mean, he hasn't been better than Brian Thomas Jr. yet. I don't know. Maybe not. I expect more from Marvin Harrison. Hopefully he improves this year, but I can't say I'm buying all the Cardinals stock that exists. We have in third place, we will go to the Seahawks. I actually did some podcast takes about their offensive line. Last year it was like 31st in the league. I think we can improve. We can expect an improvement from the Seahawks offensive line this year. They drafted Gray Zabel, who I like. They added some other guys to that offensive line. So I mean, if that offensive line can even be the 21st best in the league, that's a gigantic improvement. I think that you're going to have pretty much the exact same, if not better, quarterback play from Sam Darnold. I don't think that it's going to get worse. I don't think you're going to go from Geno to Sam Darnold and like fall off a cliff. But I think their defense will be middle of the road. It'll be good. I'm not freaking out about their defense. I'm not throwing a parade for their defense. And I expect an improvement from the run game. So, I don't think that last year was Kenneth Walker's fault. I think him and Zach Charbonnet were stuck behind a terrible offensive line, and they were both getting hurt a lot. So I expect improvement from the run game, potential improvement from the quarterback, and an improved offensive line for sure. So Seahawks, 8 or 9 games maybe. Who knows? Maybe a frisky team to have a chance to make the playoffs. Second in the division, we have the San Francisco 49ers. Fuck these guys, but I think they're a very old and very injury-prone team. So if a single guy on this team twists their ankle, I think they're fucked. If Christian McCaffrey is not himself and just keeps on getting hurt, they're fucked. And if Trent Williams gets a fucking stomachache, this team's fucked. I mean, that offensive line outside of Trent Williams really sucks. And Kyle Shanahan will make anybody look good in the run game, but you have to have an offensive line to make the run game look good. Their receiver core is going to suck. It really is going to suck. Oh boy, that receiver core sucks. And Ricky Pearsall is good, but he needs to stay healthy. Brandon Ayuk is okay. He needs to stay healthy. Jawan Jennings, because of his fantasy shit, for like 3 weeks became one of the most overrated receivers I've ever seen in the NFL. He's not. Can we please stop acting like Jawan Jennings is going to be an acceptable wide receiver one on a football team? I got a buddy who just called Jawan Jennings the most underrated receiver in the NFL. He had like 3 awesome games last year in fantasy, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, he's gotta be the greatest." Stop it. It's fucking Jawan Jennings. Relax. He is serviceable. He is solid. He is good, I guess. Like, are we really fucking really? I hate when that happens. Anyway, they're going to be first in the division if Stafford doesn't play, but I'm assuming Stafford will play. Super easy schedule. I expect a slightly better year from Brock Purdy, hopefully. I mean, he was, in my opinion, pretty mid last year. And in my experience, has been pretty mid when he hasn't had a super team around him. So let's see if we can, let's see if they can keep their players there in McCaffrey and Trent and Ayuk and Kittle. And if they can keep a good, solid team around this guy, then I think Purdy's going to look great. If the team around him is not that good, I don't expect him to elevate. I don't think that Purdy is a guy who's going to elevate this team to being a playoff team if they're not a playoff caliber team. So, but Purdy's good. I don't want to do Purdy hating. He's a good player. First in the division, I have the Rams. If Stafford plays, if Stafford is missing half the season and they're starting Jimmy G, I'm betting my house on them to finish third place. If Jimmy G plays more than 3 games for this team, bet your ass on the Rams to not win this division. Devontae Adams is better than Cooper Kupp and is more available than Cooper Kupp, so I can expect nothing but improvement between Puka getting better and that being a switch that was made. The defense is going to probably continue to improve. They're a young athletic defense. Jared Verse is an animal. I love their defense, but mainly I love Jared Verse. I think that he's solid. I think that he's a killer. I just traded for him in my franchise league, so maybe we're a little biased. But, if Stafford plays, I expect the Rams to be good. And the O-line could probably use a little bit of work, but who knows? Maybe it's a good thing for the Rams. Maybe Stafford doesn't play. Maybe they let him go. They end up with a high pick. You know what I mean? Who knows? But I have them finishing first. So let's assume Stafford's healthy. Let's assume he continues to be the dog he always has been. That's really all I got. Give me your guys' opinions, because I know that this is going to be. I mean, I would assume that the takes that are going to get the most interest is me having the Bears finishing second, saying that the Bucks could make it in the 1 seed. Um, I mean, there honestly not a whole lot of crazy predictions for me in the NFC. I feel like the NFC is kind of easily chalked up. Go check out the AFC predictions video. That's really all that I got for right now.